brother of the bride.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Hillel, Eva's brother.
And I'm Sarah, Hillel's wife.
And we're going to give a little speech together. Eva and Matt recently invited a piano into their lives. And it made me think back to the time when my father, mother, and I were all wondering if Eva would decide that she wanted to be a performer. But what about all the hours and hours of solitary required practice in her small room on that upright? No, not for Eva. She practiced, don't get me wrong, but early on in life, Eva wanted action. When she was deciding about which college to go to, she and I drove from Berkeley in Northern California down south to Santa Barbara, Los Angeles, and San Diego. What we found there was idyllic, quiet, green, spacious, and with good things like healthy trees and gentle waves rolling and young tan people everywhere in shorts riding bicycles. But no, none of this for Eva. Too close to home, not enough action. Deflecting our mother's earnest pleas that she attend UCLA, which was, after all, still many hours away from Berkeley, Eva would have nothing less than the cramped, loud, frenetic Greenwich Village. You should have seen her come back home after her first term at NYU. It was like, "Excuse me, Miss Thang, do I know you?" To hear her talk of the park or Soho or estimate how many blocks she walked yesterday made you think Berkeley is dull. So New York made sense for Eva, and it could have made sense for her to stop there, but did she? Nope, Eva's on the move. Big city? Check. Next up, the Jewish homeland, with all Israel means to Jews and also specifically to our family. She was 21 in Jerusalem, layered and ponderous Jerusalem. It was astonishing to me. I remember thinking, well, that's it. It's been really nice being a big brother with advice to give. But what can I possibly tell her now? She's going to teach me about life. And naturally, in Jerusalem, Eva walked everywhere. She was on the go. My parents at one point wondered if all this walking was really wise. I mean, Israel was still a foreign place, and maybe she would walk somewhere she wasn't supposed to be. But then something changed. The winds that had blown her east started blowing west. Some say it was a strange, natural event, seen only once in a lifetime. Some call it meteorological, but I call it meteorological. And here's Sarah to describe it for you.
This is how we knew something big had happened. Eva first got to Jerusalem in January. Then, in June, we visit her and we spend days walking around with her and talking. She tells us she has a lot in her mind. She's not sure how all the questions she brought with her on this trip are going to resolve themselves. Is she going to stay in Israel permanently? Does she still belong in the States? Hours and hours we spend walking Jerusalem and talking. Then, in September, she comes back to Berkeley for the high holidays, and she casually mentions to us that she may have started dating someone. She's shy about giving the details, and we don't press. After the holidays are over, she heads back to Jerusalem. And then, nothing. We don't hear anything from her for weeks. We call and leave messages, but suddenly she has no time to talk. We want to continue our long discussions with her about her identity, Israel, where her life is heading. She cuts us off with a "gotta go." We ask Hillel's parents if they've heard from Eva. Hillel's dad says they haven't heard from her that often, but she seems to be hot and heavy with a new boyfriend. This is the first and only time we have ever heard him use that phrase. Eva had met Matt. Years have passed, and here's what we've seen since that fateful day. On the one hand, Eva's world has gotten so much bigger. She's found new cities to discover, a new family to meet and fall in love with, and new traditions to celebrate. On the other hand, Eva's life has gotten not smaller, but calmer. She is no longer roaming the streets of New York or Jerusalem. Instead, she and Matt are fixing up their apartment. They're planning their weekly meals and posting the list on the kitchen chalkboard. And by the way, this list rivals any restaurant in the city. They are also searching for a new dog to come home to. To be honest, Eva was a big draw for me in joining the Heinstein family. I thought, a life with Hillel, that would be nice. But a life with Eva, wow. And now I feel the same way about Matt. He's kind and he's thoughtful. He wants to bring out the best in Eva and everyone around him. He thinks deeply about everything he takes on, traveling, teaching, and now marrying Eva. When I think back to the long discussions we used to have with Eva, I wish I could have known to say, go meet Matt.
But our smart Eva figured it out on her own. Matt, generous, probing, a partner in the deepest sense. Eva ended her search for you. There are few people who can beat out Greenwich Village and Jerusalem. But you've done it. And Sarah and I both feel lucky that our dearest Eva has found her way to you.
And now the brother of the groom, Jesse Conti.